Hey, I'm Game Changer Coach Rob Riccobono, and today we're going to talk about why crash diets don't work. And let's classify any diet that really restricts the amount of foods that you can eat for a very short period of time and promises a lot of weight loss in that short period of time, let's say 15, 20 or more pounds. Anything like that we'll consider to be a crash diet. And they do work in the short term. And the reason is that they just give you very few calories to eat. So how do we lose weight? You take in fewer calories than you're burning. So yeah, crash diet is of course going to do that. And what a crash diet is really akin to is actually it's just starving yourself in essence. You're taking in so few calories that in many cases are so low that it's the same amount of calories that somebody who maybe lives in a third world country or is very poor and can't afford to buy a lot of food, it will equal those calories, and that's why you're going to lose a lot of weight. So in many cases you're going to lose weight at the rate of somebody who is starving. So just let that sink in. So that's one reason why we're not going to recommend a crash diet, but that's why it is going to work in the short term, because that's why somebody who's starving is going to be at a very low body weight, of course. So why don't they work in the long term? We have to look at both the physical and mental side of things. So for the physical, first of all, because a lot of these diets restrict a lot of foods, is you're going to probably be deficient in a lot of nutrients because you're not having the wide variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains and other foods that you should be taking in to be an overall healthy person. The second thing is that the fewer calories you take in, the fewer calories you're going to burn. So if you keep calories too low, then it's just going to make you too sluggish throughout the day, so you're going to burn fewer calories that way. You're not going to be able to put the same intensity into your workouts. So for the long haul, keeping calories way too low is definitely going to hurt you. And another aspect is that if you're taking in too few calories, you're not going to be able to maintain your lean muscle mass. And we want our lean muscle mass because that's what's going to give us that nice aesthetic tone that we all aspire to have. And because lean muscle mass requires a lot more calories for us to burn in order to maintain it than to maintain body fat. So when we're losing weight, we want it to come mostly from body fat, not from lean muscle mass. And if calories are too low, like with a crash diet, then chances are you will lose a decent amount of muscle mass. And the second thing we need to look at is the mental aspect. And you really cannot separate the mental from the physical because it's going to be just as powerful. And probably the biggest thing mentally with crash diets is that they will lead to binging. Because you really do only have so much willpower. So you put in so much effort into this restrictive diet, and you go so long without eating certain foods that you will 100% almost without a doubt binge on certain foods once that diet is over or once it gets too hard. So then what's going to happen, you're going to binge, and chances are you're going to put on all the weight that you lost and maybe even more so. So not only are you just completely wasting your time because you lost all this weight and you binged and you put it back on, but it's also going to put you in a very negative mindset because you're going to be like, oh no, I didn't have the willpower, I couldn't stick to it, something is wrong with me, I couldn't lose weight, this isn't for me. And that's not the case. It's not that you can't lose weight, it's just that you made things too hard on yourself and it made it almost impossible to lose the weight and to sustain it. So we have to think about both the mental and physical aspects when considering our nutrition choices. And also this kind of crash dieting is just not very healthy mentally, and it's the culprit for a lot of eating disorders as a matter of fact. So crash diet or basically just starving yourself is definitely not something that we'd recommend and not something that's going to work for you in the long term. You want something, you need something that's structured and that is going to have some kind of measurables, but it needs to be a lifestyle and something that you could sustain for the most part moving forward. When you're trying to lose weight, yes, you do need to make certain sacrifices, but it has to at least be close to a diet that you can sustain for the long term. I'm Game Changer Coach Rob Riccobono, and we'll talk to you next time.